Welcome back to Afternoon Live. Remodeling a house is so exciting, but it can also be hard in a relationship. Here with advice on how to give your home a new look without destroying your marriage, we welcome interior designer Emilia Callero. It's so good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Hannah.
This stuff can be really stressful, and we should just say, it's okay. We're going to make it through.
We are all too familiar, I think, with the plot of these home renovation shows where you have a designer that's designing something, and then usually the husband that's the contractor that is implementing these ideas, and they have these silly fights, and then they do it all on time and on budget, and it seems so fun. But the reality is that for a majority of us, for me and my marriage and for a lot of my clients, that's just not the case. It's really stressful.
On time and on budget is extremely rare, and you just have to kind of like let that go. So you have some really good tips for us to walk through this as best we can, beginning with the emotional why. Tell me about that decision-making process.
Yeah, so what I do in my marriage, and what I also recommend that couples do when they're in that pre-planning phase of their project, is they get out a piece of paper, this is really simple, and they just write at the top the why. Why are we doing this? To come up with a phrase that both people can really resonate with. We are doing this because we want more family connection. We're doing this because we want a less like rushed, morning routine. And then to write down the whys for some of those design decisions that you are making. So we want an island because we want to have breakfast around it Saturday mornings. So that you can go back to that when you're like trying to make these really stressful decisions around the height of the cabinets and the knobs. You can be like, why am I doing this again? Here it is. It's written on this piece of paper to kind of ground you, take you back to your North Star. Yeah,
doing that before you dive in can be so helpful. Okay, so then the flip side of that is still writing down things that you do not love.
Yes. Turn that page over and hate. When you say you hate something, that's really emotional, and I feel like that should be honored. And I think when we're in a partnership, our partners need to know what are the things that we like hate and think are disgusting, so that they're just like not brought into the discussions.
There you go.
I feel like that's where a lot of things just start to unravel when somebody just starts talking about and gets really excited about something that you're just like, oh my gosh, that is awful.
Never gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and then speaking of things that you love, things that you hate, and the disagreement of it all, you have the power of veto, which is a really interesting idea.
Yes. So this is something that I've started doing recently, is that agree on how many vetoes you get inside your decision-making process with your partner.
Okay.
So for me, when I'm designing a room with my husband, because we've been remodeling our house little by little, every square inch for the past 5 years, we start by saying, okay, we each get 2 vetoes. So when we're designing, we're thinking of ideas, I get to tell him 2 times, no, don't even bring that up.
Yes.
That's not happening. And he gets to do the same too. And so that is just really helpful to know that you still have some control over those decisions.
And it's a signal from your partner too, when you are putting that veto down, they feel strongly, it's a non-starter, let's just save our energy for the next thing.
Exactly. Let's not get into a fight about it. Let's not get into discussion about it. It's done. It's not happening.
Okay, and then planning for the unexpected. I mean, anybody who's done any kind of project knows you're likely going to spend more than you think, and it's likely going to take longer than you thought.
That is exactly true, and I think that that's really at the core of a lot of what's so stressful about this.
Yeah.
So instead of, crossing your fingers and hoping you're that unicorn project that like comes in under budget and on time, it's just like, let's just plan for the unexpected with what I call the 20% rule, which is just to add 20% to whatever the first number is that your interior designer, your contractor throws out. When we talk about timelines, if they say it's going to be done in January, just don't get that stuck in your head, say March. If they say it's going to be $100,000 remodel, get in your head it's $120,000 remodel, and just try not to get too attached at the beginning to any number that is thrown out.
Yeah, because any project that requires any level of demolition, you just don't even know what you're going to find to begin with, and then that's not even thinking about materials beyond that for the new stuff coming in. And then, so on top of that, if you can, spending some time away from home, away from the project while it's happening. It's tough, but if you have the privilege of building that budget, it's totally worth it.
I would say that. Try to prioritize building in the budget time spent away while the remodel is going on. And I know a lot of people have a hard time kind of wrapping their head around that because they're investing so much, but a key part of this investment is just to release the pressure and the stress on the disruption of your daily routine. And I can assure you that when you're like washing dishes in the bathtub, or there's dust in, you're taking a shower, you step out and there's dust in the air, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I don't care how much it costs, just get me out of this house so I can have a calm space for my kids and for my pets while all of this disruption is going on.
Even if it's a short break in a long project, just that kind of peace of mind you can take for a day or two makes a big difference.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Whew, we can do this.
You can do it. You can do it.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you,
Great to
Hannah.
see you. We'll have more information on our website at katu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.